Welcome to Ascension Denied and my first ever developer commentary. I just had the idea of doing one of these because I keep streaming my own games and giving like little tidbits of information to the people streaming there, but I have so many things to say that I feel it could make for an interesting video. So I decided to start with this game because it's my most recent one, and I think there's a lot of cool things that you could learn. So first of all, this game, where you have to solve puzzles with the help of a cyber demon, was greatly inspired by Shadow of the Colossus. And that came from me being on a huge Team Eco binge, where I played every one of their games in a row. I even got a PS4 just to play Shadow of the Colossus. No, sorry, not Shadow of the Colossus. This is Shadow of the Colossus or The Last Guardian? Oh, I keep mixing this up. Yeah, The Last Guardian, I'm sorry. This is inspired by The Last Guardian. Because in that game too, you have this giant hulking beast that you have to solve puzzles with. And I thought, can I do that in Doom? Can I like have a giant cyber demon and like solve puzzles with them? So I did exactly that. And as you can see, I mean, it works well in my opinion. And here you can see another influence from Team Eco. The obligatory vines. They break up the pace too much for my taste, but I feel it is a good way to extend the length of puzzles artificially, which is why I added them. Also, it's a cool concept. They took a lot of playtesting, and it's also the reason why you have to stand right next to buttons to press them. Otherwise, you can like climb vines even when you're not next to them. You can like float alongside walls, and I might fix that eventually, but I don't know if I will. Yes, so the cyber demon is called Cybe, and she doesn't always follow your commands, which is to be expected. I mean, she is a demon, but more importantly, this is Doom's AI we're talking about, and sometimes things just don't really work. Like she'll move past the markers you set on the floor, or she'll like not shoot at things right away. Part of that is my problem, my fault. I mean, because the code is a bit hacky, but it works. It works, and I'm proud of that. So yeah. Oh, this puzzle's interesting, incidentally. Originally it didn't have the other opening on the other side there, like yeah, exactly that one. So you could get just soft locked here. Also, those eyes on the bottom of the stairs, those are meant to be like hazard lights, because this is hell, and I feel like, oh, they also need like hazard lights, right? But like they don't have just like regular lights. No, they have like creepy demon eyes. This is one of my favorite rooms, incidentally, because it's just so visceral. You have the blood on one side and the not actually toxic waste on the other, and especially with the environmental sounds, it's really cool. Incidentally, I had originally intended to add this mod pack that just adds environmental sounds automatically to your maps based on the textures, but the problem is that it just stopped working after a while. Like, it works at the start, and then after like not even half the level, the sounds just stop completely. And I wonder if there's like a problem with like how many sounds you can have or whatever. So in the end, I just had to add all of them myself, and I don't know why I didn't do that from the beginning, because it took me like 15 minutes. And here's another Archwell phase. There was one at the beginning which actually hurts you if you go near it. This one doesn't, but it already gives the idea that, you know, the Archwell is watching. If you watch my other videos, you know that I always think that these like marble faces are kind of like security cameras for the demons, and this is where I like implemented that idea. Also, you can see the very deadly lava. There's skulls, there's corpses. I wanted to hammer that point home. You shouldn't jump into this. I love how broken the wood is in these early areas. The level design of the first act is heavily inspired by Pandemonium from Doom 1, which is just various UAC spaces and factories combined with hell technology. So this leads to like a really interesting mix of like flesh and steel and metal and wood and all those like gruesome stuff, and I think that's just so delightfully creepy, and I really wanted to have that in this mod. The problem is that levels are a bit very busy visually, but I try to make up for it. Like you can see on the floor, places where the player can go are always green. Or there's like green torches there. And where both the Cyber Demon and the player can go are either gray or brown. And places where the Cyber Demon can only walk are usually red or orange because of the lava. Oh, I love this room, by the way. This is I think this is my favorite room in the entire game. The effect of the red lights and the way the Cyber Demon silhouettes against it is just so beautiful. This room is inspired by Tricks and Traps, incidentally, the Cacodemon room. With the like holes in the wall that the cacos come out of. I had thought about adding cacos here, but I feel like the pinkies work better. Also, there's a face in the ceiling. I wonder how many of you actually saw that the first time playing. But yeah, the idea of this room is that it's just like this giant gut that they are keeping alive with machinery, and as you try to press the button, the demons spawn in. And you can't defend yourself, so you're gonna have to rely on Cybe to do it for you, and she does a good job. Yes, Cybe's a woman, by the way, a girl. The entire game is meant to be a love story. I was heavily inspired by Shane Frost's comics. I don't know if you read those, but I'm a sucker for romance. So much. Especially if it's between a monster and a human. And a lot of their comics are like that, and I was like, how can I do that with Doom? So I did just that. This room is also pretty cool. This is the heart of the factory, where it's very obvious that they just straight up took something from the UAC and just plopped it in hell. Because you have like this, like there's hazard lights, for instance, but they're like more for humans. Well, there's the humans in that wall over there. But at the same time, it's all swimming in lava and it's falling apart, and there's the green marble that you can walk on, incidentally. A lot of precarious jumps. I feel like this was one of the earliest puzzles, and if I had added this later, I would have made these jumps a bit more obvious. I feel like it feels a bit hacky to like jump across, because it might not be obvious that you can do that. I mean, you've learned it previously, but at the same time, it is a bit subtle. This could have been like an endgame thing almost. I love the tooth pattern on the wall there, by the way. I just wanted to add these things that look like they have a purpose, but the purpose isn't really clear to the player. It's just like it looks freaky and just nonsensical, but you can tell there's something that makes sense here. Like the fire blue ceiling. There's a lot of fire blue in this ward, and I had this theory that the fire blue is just something they create. It's like some energy source. First time you can't actually raise the platform because the switch is broken. But it's never explained what the fire blue does. You see it right at the beginning, and it's just a thing that happens. Why is the floor intestines here? It's a thing that happens. It's just, it makes sense to the demons. You're navigating. Yeah, I feel like this is also a bit clunky, especially with the bars in the way. There was no better way to like add like a barrier between the player and you know, where they can't go. But it's fine. Also, first, well, almost the only 3D floor that you have to walk on, but there just now. And you can solve the puzzle. Beautiful. I was really proud of this room. I put a lot of effort into that one, which I think I actually like it more than the next room that's coming up. And one thing I'm really proud of is that every single room in the game, like every puzzle room at least, and even the interconnecting chambers, they're all unique. There may be like some repeated themes, like you can see the cement walls there, and obviously a lot of the textures, like the demon textures, but every room looks unique. I wanted to avoid the problem that I see a lot of fan puzzle games do, where they basically just do a portal and just make every room look really simple and clinical because they want to focus on the puzzles, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. I love doing that too. But I feel it's more interesting to have this it's like environmental puzzles where the player actually has to look for the way forward. They have to actually think like, oh, maybe that can work. And that is something that especially The Last Guardian really focused on. There's a lot of places in that game where it's not really obvious that you can even go there, but I had a blast just coming up with my own theories and figuring out what to do. You can see the lava up there. I added that after playtest Sagiri walked over there and didn't soft lock himself, but at the same time, he wasn't meant to go there. So I was just like, yeah, only the Cyber Demon can go up there. You're not meant to follow her. Yeah, you can go over there. That's just the elevator for the Cyber Demon, but I feel it flows better if you have to drop down exactly there, yeah. Now you can't go back. Oh, what do you do? Oh, yeah, environmental puzzles. You jump down here. See, you have to explore the levels, and I guess that's also kind of like Doom. Doom is a pretty straightforward game, especially Doom 1, which this is mostly inspired by. But there's exploration. You can jump down. This room took a lot of iterations to finally be good. Oh, here's the first soft lock prevention. It teleports you back. I added a lot of those later, and this was the first one. And here we can see the Archval face. He's already aware of us. He's seen us. Or she, I don't know. And yeah, that one sucked. Yeah, she comments on the puzzles, and not all of them are great. It's random though. Yeah, the Archval has seen us and is now trying to actually kill us. And obviously, Cyber Demon is very strong, so the only way to kill the player is to separate them. We had the other ambush earlier, which could be an earlier an early attempt by the Archval, but this one is the first coordinated one. The Archval has noticed, oh wait, yeah, no, we need to separate them. It didn't work here, of course. But at the same time, and you're gonna see that in a bit, if she, yeah, that's Doom's AI. I added a lot of blocking lines to edges and corners so the Cyber Demon wouldn't get stuck, but it still happens. Yeah, and here's the exit. Oh, that was a really short puzzle. Wow, that was so goddamn short. And oh no, it's floating Archval faces. What a cool effect, by the way. And now you're just in jail. There's nothing you can do. You can't interact with that. There's a Wolfenstein 3D guard outside, just guarding you. It seems like an imp is a really small guard, but at the same time, if the imp started attacking you, you can't defend yourself. And this part is also inspired by Eco and The Last Guardian, where, especially The Last Guardian, where at one point you get separated from Trico, your bird, dog, cat creature, and you're just stuck in some jail, and you have to just stay there. You think you can escape, and no, just the screen fades to black, and then that's it. And same happens here. But of course, she comes back. Also, the reason the screen fades to black again here is because I didn't want to have to program her walking over here. I could have done it, but it would have taken so long, so I was just like, hey, you just fall asleep. You pass out again. There's a new mechanic. Now she can open doors. Isn't that neat? It's a good time to actually talk about the mechanics. So the initial idea was just that you make her walk to places, and then I had the idea, wait, what if she can actually just use her rockets not just to shoot walls, but also oh, hold on one second. This place is inspired by Doom 3 BFG edition, where there's a place in hell that's just called, I think just called Forest, and it's full of these green blue trees, and I really like that. And they took that out of the BFG edition now that I think about it, and it's only in the original. It's Resurrection of Evil. I keep mixing this up. Yeah, and one of the ideas was to have to abuse, not abuse, just use the knockback of rockets to get over gaps. I haven't seen that being done before. I mean, accidentally, but in a coordinated way like that. I haven't seen that being done. Very unholy cathedral wall carvings there. Yeah, you can, again, like every room is unique. Even this like small chamber there. That's a Half-Life 2 reference. But yeah, the like actually pointing to the floor and telling her where to go. It's remarkably simple. It's basically the way it works is the little arrows are enemies, quote unquote, that the cyber demon, because the cyber demon is friendly, is targeting. And she is like hard coded to not attack on sight depending on the target. So she's going to follow the targets and shoot at the shoot targets. It's remarkably simple. It took a bit of tweaking, but as you can see, it works well. Also, it's another ambush. You can see the giant archwell faces on the walls. And this time it's way more threatening because I think it takes like 2 or 3 shots of these more big than usual mancubi to kill you. Well, of course, you can help. You can help your cyber demon friend or girlfriend help you. Incidentally, you might also notice there's like some pillars near her that don't extend to the ground fully. I had to lower those, or like get rid of them rather, because originally she would just get stuck because she can't move while shooting, and the fatzos are very, very slow. So I had to make it so she can actually like shoot them. It looks a bit hacky, but gameplay overlooks. Look at this room. This is awesome. And here's that environmental sound. I love the wind just blowing through. And here's another very organic area. I wondered, like, what would like a forest, like an actual like forest in hell look like? It looks very fleshy. It almost looks like a coral reef, or like bones. But I wanted this act to be more urban. This is what I call the like the living district, like the city almost. You have like these nice park areas and like houses almost with the libraries that we just saw. And yeah, how do you cross this moat? You can't like move her under there because there's not enough space. But oh wait, hold on. We just learned something. We can like shoot us over there. And if we go up here, oh, maybe that'll be enough. Oh, that's cool. All right. I don't know why I moved there. I could have messed that up. But yay, I did it. Look at that. Yeah, I had to change this part of the room several times because it messed up the elevator. Yay. Okay, now move over here. And now we can get her to the other side. Or we would be able to if I hadn't forgotten to press the switch. So we have to do all of that again. In later puzzles, I added more of those like soft lock teleporters. They eventually got turned into not like avoiding time wastes. But I didn't do it here. I could have done it. I should have done it. This is a very tedious puzzle because you've solved the puzzle. You know what to do. The problem is just you forgot a step, which is very annoying. And because of how the rocket splash damage works, I had to make all of those jumps way, way wider. Even after playtesting and like finishing the game, I like noticed new ways for her to just knock you into the lava. Here's another like 3-lane room. We had one at the end of the first act. And there's another one. There's another one coming up later. And that was the most common puzzle in this board. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's easy. The beta version of this puzzle wasn't just 3 lanes, where like, you know, you can move on the left, the right, or the middle. But it just got turned into that. It works. Oh, look at that. You need to get her over here, but that's no elevator. That's weird. How do you do it? Oh wait, yeah, right. You can shoot yourself. Isn't that nice? as another phase. The barren phases always act as targets, and if you pay attention to that, it's kind of like the green torches. They always mark where you can shoot to get over there. And here the green is really evident, like only you can go here. And look at that, you can go over there because there's green torches. Here's the first time with one of those monitors. People have said that they are like a bit anachronistic almost, but I feel it works. It's just human technology. They stole it. They kind of need it. They can't use the gargoyle faces all the time. And again, gameplay over looks. It was important that the player knows exactly what they can do. Or like what the switch they just pressed did. Also, I forgot how to solve this puzzle for a second here. So I'm just wandering aimlessly. A lot of the puzzles in the game rely on the whole idea of the most obvious solution being the wrong one. Like you think like, oh, that's easy, and then you try it and it's like, oh wait, I can't do that. In the previous room, for instance, the only way to cross the moat is not to jump on her head, which you might assume you need to do. Same as here. No, you need to shoot yourself over there. So like in the first part of this one, you jump on her head and get over here. But the second time, you can't jump on her head, so you shoot yourself over here. But the last time, you need to jump on her head again. So it's very inspired by the Teller's Principle, where they do that all the time. As Yahtzee put it, they put a giant middle finger in the way of your laser. That's green torches and no fence there, so you can get up here. As wrong texture on the elevator. I wanted to fix that. God damn it. Yeah, that's the like beta texture. Incidentally, the elevators, I feel like I could have conveyed better that they are elevators. They just kind of look like decoration. One of the playtesters actually got stuck at a puzzle because they didn't realize that, and that was like on me. I should have really updated them. They all have the same design, but I feel at some points, especially because of how busy the levels look. Oh, look, the tower's getting closer. Especially because of how busy the levels look, it can like be less obvious. Also, yeah, you're trying to reach the Tower of Babel, which you could see just now, because that's the way to reach the heavens, which both you and Cyber are trying to do, because Cyber is a good cyber demon, and she doesn't want to be like a force of hell anymore. It's another surprise attack. And the music that plays is from Twilight Princess, obviously. I love that game. It's the Shadow Beast theme. It's very inspired by the tracks that play in Eco when monsters come, because just like this, that's Doom's AI again, just walking in place. It's just this cacophony of like weird, unnatural sounds, and I feel like that really adds to the panic. And here's the Archvile Hall with all the offerings in front of them. So my interpretation is that the upcoming room is the Church of the Archvile, where they hold their like sermons and torture humans and all that. Oh, I'd love a cyber demon hug. And the reason the Archvile gets so mad after this point is because, well, you just entered their cathedral, like their holy ground. This is sacrilege. Like, a human shouldn't be here unless it's a sacrifice. Like, what's going on? There's more monitors. Just to show you exactly what buttons you need to press. They're a bit of a band-aid solution. I'm not happy about them. You didn't really need them during the beta because the levels were much smaller. Especially this room. This room was like not nearly as big in the beta. But they just grew in size and I had to add them just to make it easier. People have said they didn't need them, but some playtesters did get stuck and I wanted it to be more obvious. But yeah, the idea originally, well, no, not the idea originally, but originally Cyber wasn't even that big. It was just a regular cyber demon size, but eventually I thought it would be way cooler if you had this giant hulking mass following you, like in The Last Guardian, or even Shadow of the Colossus. Because it's just, as a switch again. Just this like giant creature following you, which like even shakes the ground if it's near you. It's so more imposing and makes you feel really small in this world. So I made both Cybe and every single puzzle twice as big, which I kind of feel made the quality of the puzzles suffer a bit. Like, this level looks great, but the constant like walking up the stairs and all is a bit annoying. That's why I added another one of those like teleporters there, just so you don't have to do the climbing again of the vines. It would have been fine in the beta because it was all smaller, but it didn't flow well. I don't know. I think if I could redo this concept, I would just have smaller puzzles and not have them this big. Like, if I had made this game with the idea of Cybe being so large in mind from the start. Oh, I actually did the puzzle incorrectly there, for instance. I was supposed to have her on the platform, but it's interesting that even I get like hung up on my puzzles sometimes. Like, you have to actually like think like, oh, how do I like raise her up? Like, the switch is down there, and if I do that, I can't get over here because I need to like, you know, go through the elevator, and if it's up, I can't go through there. I can go up here though. Also, this room took ages. This was one of those rooms that made me like decide, yeah, the next, like, the last chapter, the last act is gonna have like really simple puzzle rooms, which wasn't the case, but I tried. Also, more of those hazard lights. I love the lighting in this game, by the way. I really wanted to play around with the like Doom 64 lighting and these the glowing floors. I think it really adds a lot of character, and this would look really flat if it was just regular Doom. Like, you see how those like red ceiling lights really feel imposing. That wouldn't work in regular Doom. And I wanted this to stand out. Like, even if you like don't like the puzzles or the gameplay, at least it looks really cool. And that opens both the doors. Isn't that neat? Yeah, you can see the ground shake when she's near you. I was afraid it was gonna be a bit too much, that it would give you like a bit of motion sickness, which I am prone to, unfortunately, a bit. But no, it worked fine. It worked really fine. Also, this church was really inspired by the Unholy Cathedral. Again, in my video, I said, or like I interpreted the red room with the lost souls and the crushers and the demons. I interpreted that as just a cathedral, and I wanted to see like how would this look like if it was on a bigger scale. I mean, it's not exactly meant to be that, but a lot of the textures, like the red brick and all that is very much inspired by it. Here's the altar for sacrifices. If you look in the lava, actually, there's a lot of corpses down there. So the idea is that the Archval hosts their sermons there and like speaks to the masses, and then they just grab a human and like sacrifice them on the altar in various ways. Yeah, you can shoot yourself over there. Oh, it's another face. You could shoot yourself over there, but it doesn't work though. Yeah, that doesn't work. No. Yeah, no. You need to lower it. And again, this part, I'm not leaving you. Okay, well that's Doom for you. That happens sometimes. It's another one of those like teleporters to make it easier. Yeah, she does have dialogue. When you leave her alone for a long time and like are out of sight, then she like cries out for you. I really wanted to hammer down the point that both you need her and she also really needs you. Because, I mean, you're the only human willing to help her and vice versa. And, you know, you're in love. You both love each other. Yeah, you can really feel how long this takes just because of how big the level is. This didn't take as long in the original. I mean, it took long, but mostly because you need to figure the puzzle out. Here it takes long because you need to walk a lot. And I wouldn't have added this if I had decided on the large cyber demon from the start. Cybe in general comments on a lot of things. Like when you tell us to stop, to go somewhere, and you solve a puzzle. I really wanted her to be a character. Initially she didn't talk, but I felt like, no, this is not the Last Guardian. I don't need like a name, like a voiceless creature. I want someone that can talk to you, that you can grow attached to. And here's the mean Archvile room, which actually hurts you. The only time this happens in the entire game. Just to make it like seem out of place. And you can't go back now. But there's the exit right there, so like you're almost done. That's cool. There's a little puzzle at the end. But remember Act 1, when there was an ambush and you got captured? I was hoping that at this point, the player would grow attached enough to Cybe. I mean, I would have been like all over her from the start if I hadn't made this game. But I really wanted people to like, feel for her. Also, the idea is that you need an elevator there because if she's up there, she can't go back down. Like, the only way forward is through this room now. And if you do that, now she gets ambushed. You can hear the Archvile. The Archvile's noises are all at full volume no matter where you are, same as the Cyber Demon, because I really wanted it to be obvious that, oh no, there is an Archvile. This is a huge threat. It's usually reserved for the boss enemies, like the Cyber Demon and the Spider Mastermind and all that. But no, this is like your like main antagonist. Because people always like theorize, like, oh, how is it pronounced? Is it Archvile or is it Archvile, like Archangel? I think it's Archvile because the Archvile is your arch nemesis. It's the most annoying enemy in Doom, and you always want to kill it first, and yet it keeps appearing. So I wanted to like expand on that idea, and you just get flushed out. I guess the idea of the Archvile was like, okay, now like I can't capture the human, but I can capture the Cyber Demon, and without the Cyber Demon, the human is helpless, and I can just flush him down the toilet, essentially. But of course, you're smarter, and as it turns out, the Tower of Babel is right there. Yeah, there's only one tower in the skybox at a time. But you can't have multiple skyboxes in a level at once. So the way I did it was, there's in actuality 3 towers. Oh, there's the Archvile. Now it's starting to like annoy you. There's 3 towers in the skybox, and depending on which level you're in, which part of the level, like 2 of them gets covered up by the sky, and it works really well. Yeah, this is the chapter where not only are you helpless, but now you're being harassed by this Archvile that can just like, well, can insta-kill you in a lot of cases. So I really wanted the player to hate this thing. I really wanted them to just like yearn for Cybe to come back and just shoot it. And there's the Archvile again. If you start looking for them, you can see these faces everywhere. Yeah, can't really do anything here. This is a puzzle that you need Cybe for. So it is a hint that Cybe can and does in fact return. But you need to wait. Another Archvile face. With a torch in the middle of the head. Nope. This is a very mean room. This was actually inspired by Amnesia, the DLC for the first game, or like add-on or whatever, called Justine. And there is a section where you have to open a door that is on the other side while a guy is in the water with you. And you have to like sneak past him and like lure him in one direction and then like rush past. And that's the goal here too. You need to like lure the Archvile in here, climb up, and then raise the elevator up. The problem is though that the Archvile really didn't want to come. This is the first and only time this has ever happened to me. Usually it comes in here on the first, at most the second try, but this is like my 4th attempt now. Yeah, is it coming? Nope. I should have added like a monster blocking line there to the entrance so it at least can't like escape. But yeah. I actually thought this was gonna be my first death in the playthrough, but nope, that comes later. Yeah, there we go, nice. Now, yeah, now it's like, now it's fully captured. Yeah, this is a very tense section because every act has a sort of gimmick. The first act has the gimmick of being the tutorial and, you know, finding out that the game is played and jumping on the head. Second gimmick is the whole the silent room. Second act's gimmick is the whole, like, you know, you need to shoot yourself over there, and some of the solutions you think might work don't work anymore. And this one's gimmick is you're alone by yourself, and for the first half of the act, you can't even solve puzzles. I mean, you can solve them, but like not the same way. You have to do them backwards, and you're being harassed. I still think that I could have done a better job at like solving puzzles backwards, because I like really it's just you have to ignore most of them before then doing them proper later. But designing a puzzle that works both forwards and backwards is really difficult. Also, the theme of this act is dungeons and cells. You might notice that there's a lot of these cells everywhere in this run, which looks awesome, by the way. And the textures are also getting more gray. There's not a lot of browns here, mostly just gray and red. Because everything is drab. Like you're missing your girlfriend. It's all like depressing and sad, and it feels hopeless. So the lack of color reflects that a bit. Yeah, more Archwell faces. The Archwell is always watching from this point. Oh yeah, also this part originally had vines like over there too. But Amy rightfully complained that it was too annoying to have to constantly climb over them, so I just got rid of them. Ah, the broken bridge. This was one of the set pieces I really wanted in the game. Just a giant broken bridge over nothing you had to like traverse. And I wanted to make it just in this like foggy area, but it didn't look good, so I had to do with the lava, but it looks so ugly because of GZ Doom's like limitations, and it doesn't have fog on the edges because of how the line horizon works, and I could fix it somehow, but I just couldn't be bothered after a while. I took so long on this part. Yeah, here the idea is to not get knocked off, but if you see, there's always torches exactly where you need to stand to not get hit by the Archwell. Like there, like that's a perfect spot. And I wonder if people picked up on that. Yeah, you did it. And now you go all the way down to the last dungeon. What could be lurking here? It's Saibi! Baby! You came! Yeah, I know I came. You came for me, I come for you. And there's more cells here. You might notice that these stairs are blocking like half the cells. I interpret this as the stairs being able to raise and lower at will. Or some of these cells are just blocked, and that's part of the punishment. I don't know. And here's a first new mechanic. Like you need to like get over there, right? Because there's a hole in the floor, but like you can't jump that. No. How do you do that? I guess you can shoot yourself over there, but nah, she's too high up. Now that doesn't work. That sucks. Yeah, no. What do you do though? Oh wait, there's a marble phase. Oh yeah, and if you've learned that the marble phases are targets, you know how to shoot it. The original idea for this puzzle was, aside from the solution with the shoot switch being a bit different, like you had to stand behind her on this point and like shoot the switch on the other side. Aside from that, the idea was that you couldn't even reach her right away, which was to add onto the idea of her being so close yet so far. Like you're in the same room, you can finally help her, you can rescue her, you can both escape, but you can't even embrace her. Only at the very end, when the puzzle is solved, do the bars open and you can embrace. But it didn't flow well, and I had to redo this puzzle. So now at least you can like you embrace her, but you can't immediately leave with her, which is a different kind of tragic. I feel like this puzzle was a bit too easy. In the beta, my initial idea for it was, I guess I thought it was gonna be harder, but you just walk across these platforms. I guess if I were to remake this, I would just make it so some of the blocks are missing afterwards, and you have to like actually use her to like shoot open a passageway, like a new passageway forward or something. But I'm not doing that anymore. Nah, it's another Archfell. Always watching. Like, the Archfell is gone. It doesn't reappear from this point on. But it is there. Yeah, this part is... It doesn't work so well. And that's the first death. Yeah. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. This puzzle, incidentally, this was one of my favorites to work on in the beta. It's not a beta. It was like the alpha. Like I hadn't even started like finishing up the levels yet. It was just like all in the standard Doom textures. But this took a long time to work from the beginning. And then when I did the art pass, like making everything look nice, welcome to Doom's AI, by the way. Yeah, just leave. She's a demon. She does her own thing sometimes. She's a bit stubborn. But when it came time for the art pass, it looked... I tested if it actually worked. When I did the art pass, it looked really good. But then I realized, as I wanted to playtest it, that you couldn't actually solve the puzzle anymore, because I had changed some of the dimensions of like platforms and placements and all that. And yeah, you couldn't do it anymore. So I had to like spend another like half day just fixing this puzzle alone, even though it was already done. As the fence is blocking your view slightly again. It's not that big of an issue. It's a bit annoying. I think a different fence texture would have helped, but I wanted to use Doom's standard textures just so you can add your own if you want to. Yeah, now you jump over here. I think in this puzzle, you can really feel the limitations of the whole gimmick, because Cybe doesn't always stand where you want her to, and, you know, as you could see with my first death, sometimes the shooting you over there doesn't work so well. That's Doom for you. I think it's only this level, which is fine. If it had happened in more levels, then I'm pretty sure I would have just done it differently, but it's fine. Oh, by the way, yeah, this is another 3-lane puzzle. I have one in the middle, one on the left, one on the right. There's a lot of back and forth. The teleporter that I just took only opens up once you cross that section where you need to get blasted over there. Because there was originally no way to get back to the switch. I mean, there was, but you have to like do the whole puzzle again. But if she's stuck up here, then you're just screwed. And I wanted it to be doable and also be less frustrating in general. So I, well, just added the teleporter. And now you need to get her done here. You can call her over here, which can work. Doesn't work here. But there is an elevated section here, specifically so you can forget to press the button to raise the elevator and have to walk back and then have to walk there again, just so you can actually maneuver her onto the button. Yeah, and you meant to play with a crosshair. I didn't have one here. I'd never played with a crosshair, so, but it did make that section a bit tedious. Also, incidentally, this room is very similar visually to the next room that's coming up. I think that's the only like example of two rooms being similar. On the other hand, this is where the levels are getting more boring on purpose. Because like I said, you're by yourself, you feel hopeless, you feel alone, so the levels reflect that kind of. Like everything feels cold and distant. And not even the level design is like there to make it more bearable. Oh yeah, you don't need to solve the puzzle by calling her over here. You can actually just do it, yeah, like this. I mean, originally you were supposed to. Originally the switch wasn't at the bottom but at the top, and you had to like just lower her over there. But I'm glad I got to make use of that mechanic too. Here's the silent room, the Bauhaus room, because we're just not letting go of my house. This was a room I came up with after deciding I didn't want to add so much detail anymore. Because, my god, did it take long. And I was like, oh, what if I just make like a room that looks like Minecraft? Just like, it's made out of cubes. It's just blocks everywhere. So I added this, and it's a really cool aesthetic. This hasn't been done in Doom at all. This is just a cool thing. I guess there's like some parts in like the factory in Doom 2 with like the like Smurgles bloggers, but not to this extent. You can even tell that the room is a bit grayscale, so it's in this like it's in this like weird ethereal realm of hell that we never even see in regular Doom, because it's just so weird. Like time stands still here, like sound doesn't exist. Even all the detail and color gets sucked away, so it's just like featureless gray concrete. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, the hands you see with which you command her, they are actually my hands. I looked for some graphics online, but I couldn't find any, so I thought like, I'm just gonna do them myself. So I opened up MS Paint, I turned the entire canvas just green, and then I made it full screen and just held my hand in front of the monitor. I can actually put a photo on screen right now of what that looks like, and that worked. That worked. I had like a fake green screen. Oh, shoot over there. Oh, that doesn't work. And she's still too high up. Oh wait, but I learned something in the last puzzle, like in the when I rescued her. There's a face on the bottom. Maybe this works. So as it turns out, the other one is just a red herring. That's another Talos Principle style puzzle. But yeah, I just made my own with my own like green screen, and it works really well when they're this like crunched down. Getting the colors just right was really annoying because they were either too light or too dark compared to the original Doom guy hands. But I played around with the palette a bit, and it worked. This room also is inspired by the Living End from Doom 2, which is this giant, what I interpret as a giant like volcano, or mountain at least. And I thought it would be really cool to end with that, because it's the penultimate level in Doom 2. So, and this is basically the penultimate level here. And that level 2 has at the very top of the mountain a cyber demon. And that just fits so perfectly that I thought like, yeah, I need the giant volcano. And this looks really stunning. And for the first time, it is a different visual. It's not just gray like cobblestone walls or anything. I'm doing the puzzle wrong on purpose here, by the way. I know how to solve it. When I streamed this on my Discord, I pretended to like be the like clueless, like not playtester but player. Like, I can't make that jump. Oh, goddammit, what do? Oh, wait a second. If I position her here, yeah, and then raise and then raise this. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I just pretended to do that. I wanted the footage. I don't need the footage. I already had the footage of this one, in fact, but this is a more up-to-date version than the footage I had. And yeah, I just pretended to like be a dummy. Now you need to get over here, but that's weird. You could use it to cross over there. There's also some candles which also work as like pilot lights almost. Like they tell you where you can go. Yeah. And she can walk on lava, but you can't. Oh, that's so clever. I love the bubbling lava sound, by the way. It sounds so neat. I'm just watching me solve the puzzle at this point. There's not much to say. But yeah, the point of the game was for the player to develop a relationship with Saibi. Because it is a love story, and I felt when I played The Last Guardian, I felt really attached to Trico, the cat, bird, dog thing. And I wanted to see if I could do that myself. And I think I succeeded. I would be all over this if I had played this and I hadn't made it. Because I'm a sucker for romance, and there's not like outright romance, except for like some bits of dialogue here and there, and then maybe at the end. But it is made explicit in the description of the mod. Yeah, this is the elevator that the playtester got stuck on because they thought it was a door. I mean, it looks like a door. It's not a great texture. There's actually some frames missing of one of the hand animations. When you tell her to stop, there's only 2 frames of the hand going like up, stop here, like waving down. There were 3, but for some reason I forgot to add the 3rd frame. And we're almost out. Isn't this awesome? That's the Tower of Babel. Oh, Babel. I actually don't know how it's pronounced. There's even exit signs everywhere. And now we can shoot the doors, so we can actually escape. But it's weird, isn't it? There's like one loose end that hasn't been tied up yet. I mean, we encountered the Archwell. We escaped from the Archwell, but is it just gone? Did it leave us alone because now we have the Cyber Demon again? And a Cyber Demon versus an Archwell is not an easy fight, like a fair fight. Oh my god, there it is! Oh my god, kill it, kill it! I don't know if you could even hear that, but the battle music starts again and immediately ends. Because this is so one-sided. It's just such an anticlimax, I love it. You hype up this Archwell and then it just dies instantly. And here's the end. The textures are actually aligned on the Tower of Babel in the Skybox version. I don't know why they are misaligned here. Look, I couldn't have done it without you. Wait, it's us? So like they're really, you know, she's saying that, oh, as long as I'm with you. She is admitting that she just wants to be with them down there. And there's Eco again. That's You Were There from Eco, the credits theme, which is a really sweet song, and I feel like it encapsulates this mod really well. Because it's a song about, like, you know, 2 people helping each other, being there for each other, which is the point of Eco, and that's what this game is too. And in true Team Eco fashion, the like credits are just various you know, camera angles of the place you were just in. And the Telos Principle did that. Ah, the meat room. This is a really good MIDI, by the way. I mean, all the MIDIs were really good. All the like audio I got for this, obviously, but this like harp cover is really nice. Yeah, the Universal Ambience by McTed. I wanted to add that. Didn't work. I made it myself. There was supposed to be a final chapter to this, where you actually go to the Tower of Babel. I cut it for various reasons. I feel like this ends really well, and also I just couldn't be bothered. I was just so done with this project, and looking at this now, I'm really happy about it. I think this works very well, and I hope if you've played it that you enjoyed it too, and if you haven't, that you give it a try, if this didn't outright spoil everything for you. So yeah, that was the developer commentary of Ascension Denied. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I was able to give a bit of insight, and if you want me to do more of these, then I could do them for my other games, because I have a couple. But looking at the time, I think I'm gonna say goodbye.